This is Laura Duncan from CSMS. Today we're talking about solving multi-step inequalities. Let's begin with example 1. We'll isolate the variable by doing the opposite operation on both sides. So we have 3a is greater than 6. We'll divide by 3 on each side, so a is greater than 2. To graph this solution, we will start with a number line. I like to put a 0 for a frame of reference. Now, since this is a greater than symbol, it will be an open circle. It means that everything greater than 2 is a solution. So 2.1, 3, those are all solutions. Box your answer. And then let's move on to number 2. We'll begin by subtracting 5r from each side. Then we'll have negative 7r minus 18 is less than or equal to 3. To isolate the variable, we will add 18 to each side of the inequality. We end up with negative 7r is less than or equal to 21. Now we're going to divide by negative 7. Do you hear that? You should hear bells, sirens, and whistles because you need to remember to switch the sign if you divide by a negative. It was less than or equal to. Now it's going to be greater than or equal to. So r is greater than or equal to negative 3. That's our answer. Let's go ahead and box that. Now go over to the side and let's do our number line. Start with a number line. Please have a frame of reference for a 0. And we know the negative 3 is going to be on the left-hand side. Because it's greater than or equal, it's going to be a closed circle, which shows that negative 3 is also included in this solution. Since r is greater than or equal to negative 3, the solutions will be everything to the right of negative 3. 0 is greater than negative 3, 1 is greater than negative 3, and so all of those solutions would be included. Number 3 is a doozy. There's lots and lots of things, but where do we start? Well, we have to use the distributive property, so we are going to distribute the 5 to each term within the parentheses. Then I want you to notice that this is not just a 2, but it is a negative 2. So when you're distributing, remember to distribute the negative with it. We have another 5 over here to distribute. So we'll have 5k plus 5. And we don't distribute to the negative 1. It is outside of the parentheses. Before we move on to solving the inequality, I suggest you take a moment to combine like terms. So we have 5k and negative 2k. That would be 3k. We have 20, and notice it is negative 12. Or 20 minus 12. That would be 8. That makes it a little bit simpler. On the right side of the inequality, we have 5 minus 1. Those are the only like terms, so we'll have 5k plus 4. Now we're ready to begin solving. Let's subtract 3k from each side. If we do that, then it will allow us to not have to divide by a negative. However, there's some other problems with this method if this is what you choose to do. We're going to subtract 4 from each side of the inequality. We end up with 4 is greater than 2k. And then we'll divide by 2. I'm getting outside of my lines a little bit, but we'll take care of that later. So now we have 2 is greater than k. That makes it hard for some people to see which way the arrow will be pointing. So one solution is that you can switch it. You can have k is less than 2. Both of these solutions are correct, and they both say the same thing. Let's go ahead and draw our line. So give your 0 as a point of reference. Since it's a less than symbol and not a less than or equal to, it will be an open circle. The 2 is not included in that. So it will be less than 2, so the arrow for the solution is pointing to the right. 0 is less than 2, -1 is less than 2, so we know that is correct. Go ahead and box your answer and we'll move on. On number 4, where do we start? Well, we'll start with the distributive property to make things more simple. So we'll have 7a is less than 3 plus 7a minus 7. Let's combine any like terms that are on the same side of the inequality. 7a is less than, that would be -4 plus 7a. So let's next try to get our variables together. So we're going to subtract 7a. It cancels out. We're left with -4 on the right side. And on this side, oh, it cancels out as well. We have a 0. So once the variables cancel out, if you are left with a false statement, then the answer is that there is no solution. Since there is no solution, there is no way to graph. Moving to number 5, first we'll use the distributive property. So we'll have -5x minus 15 is less than -5x plus 1. We'll combine any like terms, but there are no like terms. So let's now try to get our variables on one side. Get our variables together. Well, as you can see, poof, our variables are gone on this side of the inequality, and poof again, they're gone. So let's look at this statement that we're left with. This statement is a true statement. However, that's not the answer. The answer is that all real numbers will work for this. Because the statement is true, there's nothing that will make it false. So all real numbers is the solution. You can write it as all real numbers, or you can write it as this fancy R. Now, because all real numbers is the solution, we can graph this. We'll have 0 as our frame of reference, and then our solution will be all of the numbers. On number 6, it's one of those ones where we have two inequalities, so we have to remember to do everything to all sides of the inequalities. On this side, it'll be -8 is less than or equal to 2x, which is less than or equal to 10. We'll continue solving by dividing by 2, and we'll have -4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 5. So these are my favorite to graph because we're bound by 2 points. So start with your 0. We'll have -4 on the left and 5 on the right. Since they're both less than or equal to, we know that they are both closed circles because those numbers are included. And then we'll have a line in between connecting those circles. Before we begin on the real life examples, when we have the terms at least or at most, it's almost counterintuitive. At least is going to be greater than or equal to, and at most is going to be less than or equal to. Such as if I can eat at most 2 donuts, then I have to eat less than or equal to 2 donuts. Let's consider number 7. To rent a certain vehicle, Hertz charges $55 a day with unlimited miles. The cost of renting a similar vehicle at Avis is $38 per day plus 20 cents per mile. For what number of miles is the cost at Hertz less than the cost at Avis for 1 day? So when we're looking at this, the first thing I want you to find is the question, what number of miles? Since this is the question, we know that m is going to be our variable, m for miles. We also have something else to look at. Since this is not an equation and it's an inequality, we know that we're going to have an inequality of Hertz is less than the cost of Avis. Now before we begin there, let's go back and look at what the expression for Hertz is. Hertz cost $55 a day. Well, we're not interested in the days, so we're just going to say it's $55. There are no miles included because the miles are unlimited. For Avis, they say it's $38 per day plus 20 cents per mile. I know that m is our variable, so that's how it would be written. Now that I've done that, I can go back to my plan up here. I know Hertz is going to be less than Avis, so now I simply put in my expressions that we wrote. 55 is less than 38 plus 0.20 m. Now we'll solve. We'll subtract $38 from each side, and we'll have 17 is less than 0.2 m. We'll divide by 0.2 on each side, and we'll end up with m is greater than 85. Notice that I've rewritten it as m is greater than 85. So the answer means that Hertz is less than Avis as long as you're driving more than 85 miles. To win the blue ribbon for the heaviest pumpkin crop at the county fair, the average weight of Kelsey's pumpkins must be greater than 819 pounds. One of her pumpkins weighs 887 pounds. What is the least the other pumpkin could weigh for Kelsey to win the blue ribbon? I like to look at the question first because I want to know, what am I looking for? What I'm looking for is the weight of the second pumpkin. So that is what my goal is, to find the weight. However, we have some other things here. We have average weight. Now, that's something that you're going to have to remember how to do. If we're given 2 pumpkins, then you know that we're going to have pumpkin 1's weight plus pumpkin 2's weight. And to find the average, what would we do? We divide by the number of pumpkins after finding the sum. So you are going to have to remember how to find the average of something. Find the sum and divide by the number of numbers. Now we know the first pumpkin's weight is 887. We know that we can put in pumpkin 1, substitute it here, and we're trying to find pumpkin 2's weight. So I'm going to put P for pumpkin. I'm going to divide by 2. Now let's go back to the question. The 2 pumpkins must be greater than 819 pounds. So that tells me the average weight is greater than 819 pounds. Now let's go there to solve. When we're solving this, the first thing to do is to get rid of this 2. So we will multiply by 2 on each side so that it'll make it a little bit easier for us to solve. These 2 cancels out, so we'll have 87 plus P is greater than 1,638. We'll continue solving by subtracting 887. So P is greater than 751 pounds. Kelsey's pumpkin must weigh more than 751 pounds. Please pause the video here and try number 9 on your own. Did you set up your equation correctly? We're adding 3 scores together, so we're finding the average by adding them together and dividing by the number of numbers, which is 3. So to solve, we'll multiply each side of the inequality by 3. That will cancel the 3's out on the left side. I'm going to go ahead and combine these two. So we'll have 166 plus T is greater than or equal to 240. Continue solving by subtracting 166 from each side of the inequality. And we end up with T is greater than or equal to 74. But what does that mean? It means that Holly must make at least a 74 on her last test to keep her average above an 80. Be sure that you are writing the answer in words so that you will make the connection between what it means and what the mathematical statement looks like. This is your lesson for today. Go forth and practice.